What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Inflatable channel, and welcome back to showing all my projectors, except this is not a part of the series, except it kind of is. This is a projector I kind of left out of all the videos I filmed yesterday, and kind of forgot about it, and I was like, I'm not going to fool with it, but I was like, no, I'll film it as a bonus video to the series of videos that you've been seeing of all of the projectors and kaleidoscopes and world of motion stuff. And so this is kind of like the Santa Claus that's just a static image, but it's a really cool old projector, and I figured I'd show you it even with, even because it does count as a projector, and it has cool slides and stuff. So let's check it out. And to start it off, here we have one of the first slides, which is a fireworks slide, as you can see. And because this is the next thing I'll be putting outside for July 4th, here in the next month or so, I figured I'd start off with the firework one. As you can see, like I said, it has firework rockets, red and blue. The white, I guess, is kind of the background, and of course, firework burst on it. And of course, to show you, this is the light system like I've shown you before in past display videos. It's just like what I call like a little professional stage light. It's really cool and very interesting. And so that's what it looks like. And I'll include in this video possibly kind of show you how I insert the slides, because you have to manually insert the slides a little differently than the star shower one, like kind of here. But like I said, I'll show you some of that here in a second for the next clip. But this is the other. This is the 4th of July slide or patriotic slide, and that's really cool. And here is the next slide, and as you saw, that's how I usually have to insert it, and I hope you could see it. I'll have to see when I do a little time-lapse edit of it or whatever. But this is the holiday slide, and this is one I think I use the most for this one, because the other Christmas ones, which you'll see, aren't really my favorite. This one just says Happy Holidays. I wish some of them said Merry Christmas, but this will do. This one has some mistletoe, a stocking with candy canes, and of course Happy Holidays on it. And they all have like kind of that white background or whatever. I think there's different color backgrounds for it, but this is the Christmas one, one of the Christmas ones, and this is one I usually like, and I think it's really cool. And continuing on, here is another patriotic one, which is the American flag, which I actually could have used for Memorial Day, and I have thought about it. I usually just do the starlights and the star inflatable like you saw for Memorial Day, and that's usually just it. But I might try to include this one more, with this one or the other. I think there's another patriotic one as well. In this line of ones, I gotta fix it there so it's more straight. But as you can see, though, I think it's a really cool design, and I like this projector because it's really vintage and really cool, and kind of the early ways of projecting cool things on the house for the holiday season. But this one is cool. And I've showed this one before. This is the Halloween one. This is one I primarily use for Halloween, as you can see. But I do think it's a really cool kind of just pumpkins, like I said, because pumpkins is the primary of my display pretty much every year. But I do think this one's cool, and I do like the design of the pumpkins, and it just simply says Happy Halloween, and it's a cool vintage look, and that's why I like to use it use this one, because I think there's 2 Halloween ones, and you'll see that one later in the video, but I think this one is cool and unique. And here's the other Christmas slide, as you can see. Oh, and this one says Merry Christmas, that I'm looking at it. So I could probably use this one. I'm just not really a fan of the Santa, really. I think having the stocking looks a little better. But this one is kind of nice. Like I said, it's a vintage Santa. It's got a present in his sack, and it says Merry Christmas, and I think it's a unique little one, and it's kind of hard to film this angle a little bit of it, because it's, like I said, it's just on the wall here, but it is a cool little vintage projector, like I said, and I think this is a cool slide for Christmas. And like I said, here is the Happy Halloween, or the other Halloween slide that they have, that's just bats and a moon. Like I think it shows, it's pretty much on the box here as it's advertised there, that same slide. And so I do like this slide, so I might use it. I've been using the pumpkin slide pretty much since I got this back in 2023, as you probably have seen. But I do think this is a cool slide, and because it's the first time I've really looked through all these slides before, so I think this is really cool. And I've said really cool throughout this video because it is a unique item, and I do think it's there it is, cool again. But like I said, I think it's a unique item, and I'm glad to have it for my displays. And now continuing on, this one I really like because this is a Thanksgiving one, and I don't have any other Thanksgiving projectors or projections like Whirl of Motion or anything like that from Jimmy because I've just never really looked or found one. So I'm glad to have this because now I have a projection for Thanksgiving, such as this one. Sure, it's just static and it's just a cornucopia. I think that's what that's called, with pumpkins and Thanksgiving type stuff. And I do like it because, like I said, it's the only Thanksgiving projector I have to go along with my Thanksgiving inflatables. But it's still cool, and I'm glad that it has this to offer. And this one I think is really cool as well because this is the Valentine's one, as you can see. And I've used it, of course, for my Valentine's displays the last, 2 years. And then for this year, I used it for a Valentine's display at Fort Wilderness Campground, as you might have seen, on like a grill or something, because that was the best flat surface at the campground at Fort Wilderness. But I still, like I said, I think it's kind of a cool one because, like I said, they're all static. There is no motion to it. It's just a flat image. But I do like this kind of vintage look of these slides because it's probably like late early 2000s. Whenever, I don't know how old this thing is, but it was obviously old because it's got a light bulb and it's just a static image. But I think it's still a cool little item there, and make sure it's in focus a little bit. But like I said, I think this is really a unique item, and this slide is cool as well. Now to show some other things, this is the birthday slide. This is one of like 2 or 3, I think, of the birthday slides. I used this one for also in Fort Wilderness back in February because it was my dad's birthday that same week we were there. So of course I changed the slide to the birthday slides as well. Like I said, like I showed in the video of showing the Star Shower slideshow that had the balloons. I also swapped them as well because I had that down there as well during that trip, and had the balloons on his birthday as well. I do think this is cool that it has a variety, such as like the birthday one, and there's balloons, and there's still a bunch of slides left to go through. But I think this is still a cool vintage thing. I'm repeating my words a little bit here, but I think I like this and how unique the slides are. So with Father's Day coming up, this is a perfect slide. So it also has a variety of holidays, pretty much as you can see from the slides I'm showing you so far. And it also has a Mother's Day one, so that's great as well. But I'm glad that it has a Father's Day one. Now, I don't know if I would use all of the slides that this comes with. I only mainly you would use it for, like I said, Valentine's Day, Easter, 4th of July, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Those are the only times I'd really ever break it out, but I'm glad that it has the variety of the different holidays and special occasions, like Father's Day and Mother's Day, and the other ones you'll see here as we continue on. But that is a cool option. And moving back to Christmas, now we have a Santa Stop Here sign with presents, and so that's a nice option as well. And like I said, I don't know if I'd ever use ones like these as far as slides go, but it is a cool option, and I do like like I said, the vintage look of each of these slides, and that's cool as well. And then, like how I showed the Father's Day one, here is the Mother's Day option, which is flowers in a pot, which makes sense. I do love that as well. And like I said, and I've been saying throughout just showing you these different slides, I wouldn't really use any of these because I only like to decorate for like the bigger holidays, because I just don't see it's not necessary to use all the slides for everything. It's not my approach for it. But I do like that it has the option for Mother's Day slide as well as Father's Day. And now here's the Easter one, which I've shown before because this is the one I use for Easter, for my Easter display mainly. Ooh, it's falling. Okay. Okay, there we go. I'll keep it in the video, and maybe, but like I said, this is the Easter slide, and I like it because it's just simple. Easter Bunny, Happy Easter, and like I said, it looks kind of like a 50s classic, 60s early, like kind of early age look with each of these slides, but that's what I like about it. And here's a little bit of a different one that just says congratulations. So, like I said, if you have like a special celebration or some special occasion where you want something like this, I think it's great that it has the option for just bells and celebration. I think that's cool. And as I said earlier, here is a another Easter one. That's just the Easter basket with Easter eggs. Looks like flowers or it could be butterflies. I don't know. Looks kind of like a bit of a both, flowers and butterflies, and the word Happy Easter above it. And I do think that's a great option for Easter as well. And here's a slide that I find kind of interesting that says "Over the hill with balloons." Not entirely sure what that's supposed to be, but it is a interesting slide of some celebration type thing. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm trying to show all the slides that I have here, and this is one of them, and this is a very different one for sure. And then here's another one that's a little unique, which would make sense because, like, if you wanted to have this for a baby shower, not so much a gender reveal because it literally says it on the thing, but for some kind of, baby shower type thing, we have it's a girl slide, which I'm missing, appear to be missing. It's a boy one, and I'm gonna look through it to see if I have it, but right now it doesn't seem like I do. But this is an interesting one for sure. And like I said, I don't know when the occasion would ever be used for something like this, but like I said, baby shower is the only occasion for something like this, but it is different though. And now we have the Happy New Year slide, which I love this. This is great. I've used it, I think, pretty much every New Year's since I got it, and I definitely love that this is the only New Year's slide I have. So I'm glad to, of course, try to use it at the end of December. It'll like have all my Christmas decorations still up, and then just switch out the slides to fireworks, and at least ones that have slides, to fireworks and this sun for New Year's. So I think that's cool. And now, ironically, here is a Happy St. Patrick's Day slide, because like I said in the video talking about showing the Star Shower slideshow, that it did not have a St. Patrick's Day one, which is fine. And now that I know it has one, that still doesn't mean anything because I won't use it for St. Patrick's Day. But because this is a multi-season projector, glad that it has this as an option. And for those who celebrate Hanukkah, I'm glad that it has a Happy Hanukkah one for that option as well. And I think it's great because it looks like that's supposed to be the correct amount of candles. I don't know because I don't pay attention to that history a little bit, but it is interesting, and I'm glad there's some diversity with it as well with the slides, and cool. And now we're back to the party ones, and this one just says party. So this is kind of like if you have a party here sign type thing, and so yeah, it's great. But I feel like it's also missing. It says party, but I feel like it needs to say party time excellent. For those who know Wayne's World, I think that'd be funny. So it says party time excellent, but I think having a party here, or it's not, I didn't say party here, but just a party sign. So if you have a birthday party or something like that, you just put that up on your house, and that'll be a very big, noticeable advertisement that a party is here. This one I think is kind of cool because it's now a graduation congrats slide. So for those who graduate, because it is May, so a lot of people have graduated, of course, for the year of 2025, and so that's great, awesome. And so I think this is great for graduation parties with your certificate of graduation and a graduation hat, and I think that's cool. And then the last slide I have to show you here is the last happy birthday slide, which is really cool. And I like this one a little better than the cake one, and I'm pretty sure there's two happy birthday ones, I'm not sure. But this is the last slide I have to show you, and so I think this is a really cool item, and I definitely think it's cool, and I'm glad to have it. And to cap it off, I figured I would show you show you the slides this way, because that's the one I seem to be missing. But I believe I showed you all of them, except for the It's a Boy, because that one seems to be probably hidden in the box maybe. But overall, I think this is a really cool item, and I definitely am glad to have it because it's kind of unique. See, it's a holiday projector light. Don't know where it was bought or where it came from. There's a little more of the box here. Okay, so it was Walmart apparently for 20. Here's another side of the box, but this is kind of the old projector style thing in the early 2000s, pretty sure, or not early, late to early 2000s, before they came up with the whirl of motion like Jimmy has now and kaleidoscopes, but it is a cool item and I'm glad to have it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.